Hello everyone, yet another video. We will cover latest news on Tata Motors. What is DVR? We'll try to do some learning because in every video I try to embed some learning because at the end I want to give you framework for you to analyze yourself. We will try to look at what's happening now and why I thought and which I shared earlier in my platform where stock price have almost doubled and tripled from when I did last analysis, and I'll share with you how did I connect the dots, and that is also is one of the essence you can take from this video so that you can connect your own dots going forward for any stocks you look at it. You start looking at things in different lenses, which is my objective for this channel, and of course, technical analysis is a backbone for our whole thesis because without that, if that's not showing up on the price, then it's not worth wasting our time because we have limited time. And as I say, it's all about the peaceful weekend investing is all about making sure you are creating wealth with peace and with limited time because everyone is busy doing their day job, including myself. And I'll share with you my opinion at the end. So please stay till the end. And at the end, clear disclaimer, no recommendation, just learning and fun is what we do as part of this channel. Okay, so let's get started. So let's look at it. What's happening? Okay, first of all, I want to talk about Tata Motors has given from loss to profit. This is some of the earnings which has come up, which basically the company has moved from loss to profit, which means that is the trend has changing, which means they are able to sell more cars. And why they are able to sell the cars? Because of this particular analysis which I shared, and I will share with you my trading view. So if you see here, if I if you can focus on January 17, 2021 is where if you are not following me on TradingView, you can search Compounding Central on TradingView and follow me here, or I'll leave the link below, right? So you can see this was my analysis, and which is quite deep analysis. Don't get overwhelmed with a lot of lines here. It was basically a zigzag higher high. It's a Dow theory which I applied on Tata Motors, and I said Tata Motors Tesla love affair, right? And that is the time when I gave this analysis, and I said I followed up in October 2021. Be ready for some fun, right? And that is my thesis of it. So it's not that I'm just talking here with the just first time in this thing. I've been sharing this in platform about my view for quite some time. And close to double, and June 7th I said it's close to double, and it's pure fun which is happening here, and that is something which I want to share with you. And now let me explain you what has happened. The time when I did the analysis, this stock was close to 265, right? You can see here, and now then since then, the stock has gone up. 1 minute, yeah. So stock has gone up 639 is where it's sitting, and it's gone up beautifully from there on, which is amazing. And we're going to look at it how we can basically further peek into the future and see what will happen, right? And that is what we need to do as part of analysis because what is past. We have to talk about future. And given that the stock is it's almost it has gone all time high after making higher high, which is what was happening, and after making this amazing U-turn, it is now sitting at all time high. So which is at that time did give the analysis that there's a lot of volume happening, and people who knew about it have scooped up big volumes, and that's where they're sitting at, and that was the peak of it when also many big investors got into it at the price which is throwaway price. And that's why I say stock markets sometimes give you opportunity and big discount. It's like an supermarket where you can get big discount, and you should latch onto it when you try to buy. And you follow the same approach and same mental model when you go and buy some big branded shirts or clothings where you see a 50% discount or one plus one discount. And that is how approach you should look at it, but you have to wait like an eagle hawk eye and try and latch onto it. But nevertheless, that is one thing which I wanted to cover. Let's go into what is now Tata Motor doing. First of all, let's try to understand what is DVR, and we'll come back to the technical analysis later as well. So that is just a peek of what was my initial thesis and what I was doing. So DVR is a differential voting rights, and what does it mean by that? Is it is basically your voting rights on that particular shares. If you are holding Tata Motors ordinary shares, and I'll come to what ordinary share is. If you're saying if you have DVR written next to your shares, that means you have differential voting rights, which means that you will not have a one-to-one voting, and you will have 1:10 voting. So for every 10 shares of DVR, you will get one voting rights. And why? And for that particular if you the company made it available, so and they were giving, okay, if you are buying DVR, I'll give you 5% more dividend for this share. So because that was kind of carrot given to the shareholders. But why do a company issue DVRs? This because of the hostile takeovers, and also this also gives an opportunity for the passive and retail investors who are interested in dividend income. For them, they created it. So that is what the meaning of the DVR is. So you can go to this website and read through more details. Now, first, before we jump into it, you need to understand the fundamentals of it. If you don't understand the fundamentals, you'll keep getting into trap. And that's why I say shares have equity shares, okay, and preferential shares. Equity shares are the ordinary shares, they also call it, and preferential shares are shares which are coming under like DVRs or some kind of preferential shares issued. And what are different types of preferential shares we have, right? You have rights to dividend, that in case you have dividends there, option to convert, right? So if you look at it, you have rights to dividend, option to convert, right to vote. So these are different types of preferential shares available. So I prefer getting into ordinary shares because ordinary shares has more power uh, than the overall preferential shares in terms of what is ordinary shares. It's a proprietary ownership of the company, right? So, and ordinary shares are nothing but you're part owner. When you say you're part owner of the company, you are basically the shareholder of the company. And preferential shares might come up with its own caveats, like it has no voting rights, it has a liquidation preferences could be there if company goes belly up, what will happen, and so on and so forth. So they could be, you have to go through the preferential shares understanding of it, but this is the gist of it. So that's a learning part of it, right? I hope it was useful for you. And Tata Motor came up with the news saying that they are now canceling a ordinary share in the latest security. What does it mean? They are trying to cancel the DVR and basically bring back, and as I said, ordinary shares get 5% higher dividend, right? So that was has 10% of the ordinary shares but get 5% higher. So this was the I mentioned to you about initially what the DVR means. They have only 10% shares you can vote against and 5% higher dividend. So company is kind of saying, okay, I'm going to simplify this. And why they're simplifying it, I'll talk to you through in a minute. So before I move forward, I have a small request to make sure, please subscribe and also stay till the end because I'm going to share the entire analysis. Like, share, and comment because it's absolutely free. It helps the channel grow. And we have so far covered about the latest news. We covered about the DVR, what's changing, and we'll now look at some of the details about it. Thanks for subscribing and also hitting the like button as well and sharing as well. So they come up with the news saying that they want to cancel all the A shareholders. So which is what and why are they doing it? So currently A share is currently discounting 43% discount of the company, which is the because always the because it doesn't have the voting rights, so it was giving in a 43% discount. And you have to understand one thing what they said. They're saying they're doing this rejig to simplify, right? And I want to emphasize this word simplify because this has a lot of meaning, and that's where you have to understand there's a connecting of the dots is required, right? So they are simplifying the process. And if you further go down in this, they're saying that A share is currently trading in 40% discount, and this is where the capital injection will dilute the voting rights of the company, and 3.2% of the earning per share will be boosted. So they are basically looking at boosting the earning per share just by doing this rejig. And currently, the valuation, I think what they're doing is to make sure that they are competing because they've got leadership position electric vehicle, and they want to maintain that, and that's why they just want to simplify it. So currently the market value is 28 billion, and rival is sitting at 36 billion. So they're kind of coming close to Maruti Suzuki, and obviously their luxury division is doing superbly well, and that is what has a Tata Motor free float ordinary shares by 18%. And so, essentially, in all, if I have to simplify you this news, is they're trying to, um, in the good times, they're trying to simplify this. They're trying to, get into the market leading position. They've got head start with the EV. So all that is happening, and they're simplifying. The word simplify is very important here. And if you look at it, what N. Chandra's statement was, and that's where you should connect the dots. This came as part of the New Year message of the company. And that is, you need to link that up. When he said that in 2019, that simplify, synergize, and scale. And that is what is happening. So everything, when the chairman comes and speaks in public, every line has a meaning. When they say simplify, that's mean every machinery around or all the organizations around within that will start working towards that. And that is what you need to connect the dots and see what can happen. And when you get to track the companies, always look at the chairman's statements, try to see the what's behind that, and that is where the wealth creation happens. If everything is known to you, then you have to pay the price for what is available in the market. What is the differential is how you decipher the news, how you build your intuition in the whole process, and understand, connect the dots with data. So that's want to tell you about this. So this is what the connection of dot means, and you can say you can read through what was the view N Chandra has provided. Simplify in some areas like aerospace, defense vertical. We are consolidating our business in a single unified way. The unified entities enable us to move beyond merely providing individual products to develop integrated offerings, execute larger and complex solutions. In other areas, the companies reducing subsidiary existing non-core business to bring focus, agility, and all companies are prioritizing on leveraging technology to simplify operations and synergizing of that. And Tata Motors is a leading the efforts to develop electric vehicle ecosystem in partnership with Tata Capital to financing and Tata Power for charging. So see, look at it. So this trio, Tata Motors, Tata Capital, because when you buy a car, you need financing, and they will have in-house financing arm which will finance those sales of it, and Tata Power to charging infrastructure. So this is a trio which they're kind of working on it, and now it's a matter of scaling. And India has 2% of EV market share so far, and like overall vehicles on the roads are just mere 2%, and that has mega trend in available for us. So keep an eye on this. So last bit which I want to cover is on the last section of this is let's look at the technical analysis of the company, right? Which is what very important for us. Now, if I look at it, this is a monthly charge because company you have to do. This was a time when I made this analysis, and that was since then what has happened. Okay, so this is a monthly chart. I'm recording this video in 26th of July, and you can see the nice base formation, and this is where it is breaking out, right? And now it's giving a fresh breakout from all-time high, right? And since why did I give it here? Because it was started making higher highs. Okay, form a base for a couple of months. A lot of people would have just shaken out from there, went up and formed another base and before it moving up. And that is as simple as that. You don't have to really complicate your analysis. You have to keep it simple and look at it what exactly is available, as because price is one thing where everybody comes and come to agreement to it. And that is where when you see the price on the chart, your fundamental thesis and the price on the chart should connect the dots. That is very important. Anybody who has information has to execute its strategy based on the buying and selling of the stock available in the and which is available to you. And that's the power the retail investor. As part of this channel, I want to do that and share with you. For me, the peaceful word is just not a word. It is means that you understand the risk associated with it, you understand the process it, and you build the peace around that so that you are at peace and then you can enjoy the ride. That is the important aspect of this piece here. And once you start creating wealth, you automatically start feeling nicer, you feel peace, you're able to fulfill that dreams, and also the fulfill the aspirations of your loved ones, and that's a also peace. And also it becomes confident what you're doing as well in your day job, because you know that you have that skill which can create you wealth. And so that is the simple thesis. I think now stock is really at the all-time high, and at this point in time, it is definitely setting up nicely. I would say that the last couple of 4 months, as you can see, after 4 months of rally, I see it, either stock can continue going up. Nobody knows future, but you can see in the past that every time there's been rally, there has been some rest. So stock always goes into fashion of waves. So you have to have wait for the pullback to enter again. Stock is setting up nicely. It can be the leader along the side. And I say Tesla in US, which also I have a positive view. And uh, and I always maintain that Tata Motors is the Tesla of India market. It can, because it is where um, it is a kind of a love affair which this company can show because of the, and that's why I mentioned the Tesla love affair of Tata Motors. So if you are positioning yourself for US market, and which I also have a strong view on Tesla, and every fall I'm trying to accumulate that share. This is another Tata Motors one should have in radar. I hope this video was useful to you, and so far, you got all the understanding which I'm trying to give based on understanding of our agenda which we set for this last 17 minutes you have spent on this particular of your day, which I really appreciate. Thank you for bottom of my heart. We've covered what is Tata Motors' latest news, what is DVR, what are different types of shares. We have covered what is the peak in future in terms of what the share price looks like based on technical analysis. I've just given my opinion. And again, as a clear disclaimer, no recommendation. It's just learning fun. I hope you got the maximum value. If you have found the value, please subscribe this channel, hit the notification bell, share with your friends. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it can grow our channel, and we can keep learning and growing here. Till the next video, bye bye.